here we are. Good evening. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. We meet every moon day at 10 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. And we discuss the astrology of the week ahead. And I just realized that if I don't have the iPad, I don't have that information. So let me just get, we're gonna do this with the laptop. So this is what we're doing. Live TV. Yay. Oh my goodness. So this week, what's happening astrologically is serious in the sense of getting to work, getting to feel the vibe of I gotta take action. And so that's kind of serious if you've been procrastinating some things. But also encouraging because we are meant to move forward if we are serious about the things that we say we want or that we feel inspired to create, right? If we're not serious, then no action is needed, right? But this week, I pulled it up. So here we are. Good evening. Welcome. I'm late because the little one is still awake and he should be asleep by now, but he was not asleep 100% by 10 p.m., right? I just heard something. Okay. So anyway, we have the moon calendar here and let's get to it. Happy Mother's Day if you're a mother and you celebrated, or if you mother your friends and family, or if you're like a mother hen everywhere you go. If you are a single dad. And it was so cute, in my opinion, that we had Mother's Day in the US, right? With the moon in Cancer, and it just felt like the moon was mothering, and I observed a lot of just back and forth kind of feelings. Moon in Cancer, all the feels, plus the context of the day, so on and so forth, right? And then the nurturing, like coming back to that nurturing aspect of sometimes even just a pat on the back, or a it's okay, or you're doing good, or so on and so forth. And the moon in Cancer is very nurturing. It is all that is nurturing. And so that was the weekend. How was the weekend for you? We also did have a new moon on the 8th, so we're going to talk about it. We're following Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2024 manifestation agenda / journal. And so we had a new moon in Taurus on May 8th. And in the book, you get to answer questions and then journal and paint over it. And this new moon was felt, at least for me, quiet and slow. On the day off, I remember, and that's very Taurus, right? The sun is in Taurus, the moon was in Taurus for this new moon. And so this week we have Taurus as the main protagonist again, with a ton of planetary activity happening on it. So it's very grounding and at the same time slow paced. So I remember feeling on the day of this new moon like I wanted to rest but not necessarily sleep. So I remember I spent most of the day until I finally got things going at, like, I don't know, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, which is pretty late, right? Like just laying around like a lump or a potato, literally, right? So that's how I felt, and we're gonna get to the questions for that new moon and the affirmations for it. But now we're looking at starting the week with the moon in Leo, which is really interesting. Any fire sign on a moon day is a propeller, but Leo, I feel like, is tricky because we, myself included, tend to lean towards those aspects of Leo that don't necessarily help us, in the sense of me, making it all about me, even though that's Aries. But Leo wants to be seen, right? Leo demands the attention that Aries is pretty secure in having. Leo wants that validation, right? Leo wants to be seen. But some of us find it difficult to be perceived and to be seen, right? Hello. Thank you, Peter. Welcome, Nani. So, with the moon in Leo on a moon day, you tell me, how was your day? How is your mood? Are you feeling kind of spicy, sassy, short-tempered in a way? Today, the moon in Leo is almost not as intense as the transit happening today in the astrology, which is the sun conjunct Uranus, who rules Aquarius. So let's make a mental note about how Uranus rules Aquarius, and remember that Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 15 years, right? So the sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus, and at the same time, Venus, who is also in Taurus right now, is creating a sextile to Saturn, who is in Pisces and has been in Pisces since last year. So we've been talking about this, right? And Pisces is the dreamland. Pisces is the dream life that you're wanting to create and manifest. And Pisces is also boundless in that imagination, right? And so Saturn has been very interesting in this transit that it has for a few months in Pisces, because it's like, how do you bring boundaries to the boundless? How do you contain water, right? So there you go. And Venus in Taurus is kind of putting a stamp or a seal of approval on the things that you've been doing that are soul aligned on the physical realm, while at the same time bringing your attention by the discomfort, by the shame, by whatever negative energy or vibration you get to experience during this transit. Then Venus is highlighting what needs work, what needs to be changed. You know, what is it going to take? Is it going to take you redecorating a wall, or is it going to take you packing up and moving? It's like all of these things are coming to the surface. They're coming to a head now because these transits are happening while the sun is in Taurus, which is kind of really shedding light on our physical realm, or what we have accomplished or lack thereof in our life up until now. So this week, you know, the sun conjunct Uranus is very not dramatic, but unhinged is the word that comes to mind. Think, I don't know if you watched, I don't know if you're a Swiftie, but my besties are Swifties, right? Because if you're not a Swiftie, then we can't be besties, right? My besties know that this previous weekend's Taylor Swift's performances in Paris were unhinged. And what a coincidence that now we have an unhinged transit kind of happening, while it's literally contrasted by Venus in Taurus, which is very stabilizing and grounding. So I love that, right? You know how I love the two sides of a balance, or a tender mercy, like I call it. It's like the sun is making a mess of things with Uranus in Taurus, but there's this tender mercy of Venus sextile to Saturn in Taurus. Well, Saturn is in Pisces, but Venus is in Taurus, right? And so it's almost like Venus in Taurus is standing against the sun conjunction to Uranus, being the boss babe that it is, right? But in the back, in the shadow, not in the shadow, but just as a card in the sleeve, Venus has Papa Saturn there to assist. And so I'm hoping that it flows beautifully. But if not, what I wanted to get to with this unhinged diatribe is that the expectation, in my opinion, so that we can set ourselves up for success and not for a mess or more of a mess of things, and not obviously not for failure, because we're trying really hard to not fail, right? The expectation, I feel like it should be for things to be snappy, for people to kind of not act quite not be hand in hand or on the same page, actions with intentions, because I feel like it's kind of confusing to have an unhinged kind of transit and then a stabilizing kind of transit happening all at once. And this is all happening today. The thing about these transits is that because of just, you can call it the window of opportunity, you can call it the reality of how every degree in the zodiac. So in between each sign, you are usually going to find these broken lines. Do you see that? Broken lines all around it. So those are meant to symbolize, because there's not 29 in each here, the 29 degrees between every, there's more than that. There's like, I think 30 or 31. But they're all degrees, and every degree changes things, right? Every degree changes the story. And so these transits happen, in order, because it's a wheel, right? So anyway, all of that to get to still today, because this transit is just a lot. But we don't have a big transit this week again until Saturday. So let's get on with where the moon is today, Leo. The book invites you to think about what you will make sure to do this week, and what are those things that you're working on. Taurus should have brought your attention to some of your real world actions, meaning not so much your creative pursuits or your, what's in your computer type of work, but what are you doing? How are you tilling the land? How are you tending to your garden? How are you moving things along with the plans that you have where your 2 feet are, being anything, right? In one of my many definitions of what being grounded is, be present in the moment. What is in front of your hands? Where are your feet? And what are your eyes seeing? What are you doing? If you're anything like me, you space out while you're cooking a lot, and then I forget the salt. I burn things. Things spill over all the time. My baby sister said, "What is my week saying about my finals?" What is your week saying about your finals? Girl, you're already graduated. So what do you got to be afraid of? There you go. Like, you already got a graduation date, so I don't even know why you got finals. That's kind of silly to me, but there you go. Cheers to you, Nanny. Congratulations on being a graduate. Congratulation. Ding, ding, ding. So this week, I will make sure to talk down my baby sister when she is freaking out about her finals. That's right. I will also make sure to be overly prepared for this trip I have next weekend, which we need to talk about, because I may not be here next Monday, but I will for sure do an episode on Tuesday if I don't make it on Monday, because my flight lands in Orlando a bit too close for comfort. And I'm gonna be just preoccupied. So I'll remind you, I'll post it all over social media, and I will promote the episode on Tuesday so that we can all reconvene then. This week I will create, honestly, this week is all about how can I prepare my child for travel, mental, physically, and just every sense of the word. I'm very interested in not necessarily creating a list at this point. My rising sign is Virgo, so I love order. And at this point, I kind of have it down what I need to bring on a trip that is just short and, to the point. I'm not necessarily going on vacation. I have a very set agenda. And so I don't need to bring like, oh, 10 outfits to see what am I going to be in the mood to wear. Like, no, the decision has been made. And my rising in Virgo kind of assesses me in those things because it's like, go, 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 plan it, do it, and it's done. I wonder what your rising sign is and how do you use its energy to your advantage? I'm going to ask this on my TikTok, maybe. I am grateful for you. Thank you so much for watching live. Thank you for commenting and participating always. If you have bought my book, I'm so grateful for you. Please leave a review on the Amazon store. And grateful for the moon because honestly, giving into the Cancer energy this weekend and kind of sitting with everything that is and the way we want things to be versus how they are and the way we hope things would be, so on and so forth. It's like almost everything has a different taste of energy, right? And sitting with all of it while the moon is in Cancer was definitely interesting. Now, my native moon is in Cancer. So usually, if the context of the day is not already doom and gloom, then when the moon is in Cancer, I feel really at home with myself and with kind of secure in my attachments, secure in my own self-worth. That's what at home feels like to me when I get to experience that energy of, you know what, I'm doing great. I believe that we're doing good, so on and so forth, right? And when the moon is in Cancer, I tend to feel like that. Aside from feeling like I want to hug and just kiss my child like all day long, right? Because he's so adorable. And I just want to mother, right? And so you add to that the context of the weekend and the celebrations or lack thereof, and it was very interesting. So I hope that you had a good time celebrating yourself or your mom, right? Or your friends and family that have mothered you in one way or another. So I'm grateful for all of that. The affirmation for the week is inspired by the crescent moon in Leo. I embrace my inner strength and creativity. I step confidently into this new week. This is for you, Nani. I step confidently into this new week. Repeat after me. Shining with self-assuredness and determination. If that doesn't sound like something Elle Woods would say, I don't know what would. I embrace my inner strength and creativity. I step confidently into this new week, shining with self-assuredness and determination. Woohoo! See, it's already going to be a great one. Now, the new moon in Taurus was prime time for manifesting. I hope that you had a chance to think about your future plans because this was the moon to kind of put it all on paper, put it all in black and white. This was the moon that, if you watched last week's episode, I explained how it kind of really opened the door for you to dream big and see, like, this is like the optimal vision of what I would love to have or to own or where I would like to be or what I would want to be doing or the book I want to write. Like, this is the ultimate vision. I'm talking, New York Times bestseller if that's what you want to do, right? I want to have a podcast with famous guests coming to it. I want to launch a clothing line. I want to double my client roster, triple my client roster. Like what are the things that you want to see come to life this year? Then this new moon was the moon to plant those seeds. Now, If you haven't yet, then I would recommend you still do it. The sun is still in Taurus, and there's a lot of activity happening in Taurus right now. So to activate that Taurus energy of, the ground and how we use clay to shape and to form and to create, then I would say do it by all means. Still do it, especially today if you want to do it, because it's moon day and it's like the day of the moon. So let me go ahead and do my new moon homework that I didn't do last week. Absolutely, always use a moon day to do anything moon related. Self-care, self-love, self-nurturing, sitting with your emotions, meditating about where you are emotionally, all of that. Definitely, because the moon day already has that magic into it. So let's get to the questions, and then we'll get to the rest of the week, because I still haven't talked about that. So what are some simple physical activities that make you feel most grounded and content? How can you incorporate more of these into your life during this new cycle? And, a physical activity absolutely could be for you to lay around like a hot potato if that's something that's lacking in your life, because you're go, go, go hustle mode. And so you need to slow down. And maybe you're being called to slow down. How could you be being called to slow down? I don't know. Are you currently fatigued? Are you currently experiencing a loss of energy? Are you currently, I don't know, a walking zombie because you don't sleep well at night? Then maybe you're being called to kind of slow down in other areas of your life, so that then there can be more of an unwinding that happens before you fully rest. Because we're not machines, and we're not meant to go 100 miles an hour, right? Okay, just a reminder. Number 2, how can you balance your desire for change how can you balance your desire for change with a respect for the tried and true methods that have worked for you in the past? And here's the thing. The Sun conjunct Uranus is going to spark a creative new idea, but what if what you've been doing has been working so far and you're nice and steady? Emphasis on the word steady, because that's the Venus in Taurus aspect of it. So remember, right? It's like Aries season and the ideas that we had during that fire sign season, right? The first fire sign of the zodiac, Aries. It sparks a lot of ideas, and it starts a lot of projects that by the end of the year we may not see fully, fleshed out, depending on your efforts, right? So the Sun conjunct Uranus might be telling you like, well, you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, or you could do it this way that no one has tried. That sounds amazing. And then Venus and Taurus might be like, well, remember your values is this thing that you think of doing, that you think it's so amazing and creative, aligned with the things you say that you value. And if not, then where's the disconnect? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to reconcile, or how are you going to redefine? All of those things. It is such a fascinating week astrologically. Affirmations for the new moon. I embrace the beauty of life's simple pleasures, like resting like a hot potato. I connect with nature. How are you doing that? Savoring each moment. And I find comfort and security in the present moment. I reevaluate my relationship with money and possessions. And I discover that true happiness and fulfillment come from within. And I release what no longer serves my well-being. I mean, those are some pretty big commitments. And then on Wednesday, we have the first quarter moon, which is kind of like that bookmark after that new moon that kind of propels us or prompts us to revisit those things that we committed to, or that the seeds that we planted, or the dreams that you wrote around here. Like by Wednesday, there should be some kind of action, or hopefully, or maybe, like, you know, how long do you sit with your plans before you take action? That's a question for you to think about. All right, Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the moon in Leo still, but by Wednesday night, we have the moon in Virgo, which is very structured, and not structured, but organized, right? So I'm hoping that the mess that the moon in Leo makes with this other transit happening today and then kind of trickling down to Wednesday. I hope that by Thursday and Friday with the moon in Virgo, we can kind of make a little bit more sense of it and see what applies and what doesn't. Because here's the thing, when it comes to an idea or a download or a thought or a glimpse of a feeling, you have to discern, you have to filter, you know, you have to really get in tune. This is what getting in tune is. This is, you have to really be grounded in yourself while at the same time in touch with that spiritual awareness that allows you to discern whether everything that's coming through your periphery is for you or not. Is it ego-based? Is it soul-aligned? Is it trauma talking? Is it a trigger? Is it a projection? Is it fear-based? Or is it actually productive for my plans and for what I say I want to do based on what I say I value? Ooh, this week, oh my gosh. So we finished the week with Saturday and Sunday with the moon in Libra, which might create a lot of indecision, a lot of, oh, but do I do this or do I do that? The moon in Libra can be a bit annoying if you have people in your life that have very strong Libra placements, or if you're a Libra placement yourself. How do you handle that analysis paralysis? How do you handle that kind of like being on the fence about things? Or are you pretty good at, you know, this is not my problem, so I'm over here and the problem is over here and we balance each other out? Or do you just cancel everything out? Like, how do you do it, Libras? I would love to know, because what I experience when the moon is in Libra, it's a bit of that, like, you know, I'll start doing something and I'll literally think, well, I could be doing this instead. So maybe I go do that. I feel a little ADD, if I may, when the moon is in Libra, right? Like, don't do this, do that, because that's more productive, or do this or do that. Or like, if you ask me a yes or no question, the answer is like, I really just don't know. So those are some of the things that happen to me. What happens to you? Tell me in the comments, because we're crazy over here. And that concludes our time together. Now, let me see if I find some music here. Don't have the tablet, so we might just find something. We can still do some Brain FM. I'm excited for that. So the music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. You can find their link, a link for the free trial in the description. Let's go ahead and do some sleep. So if you're able, please relax, lay back and enjoy. If you're driving, do not close your eyes. Settle your body into your space. Remember that you are safe. And follow my lead as I lead you through some breath work and some affirmations to get you to unwind before bed. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Nice and slow, deep breath. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale through your mouth. Nice and long. Exhale. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath in, hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale nice and slow through your nose. And as you exhale and relax into this exhale, I want you to visualize yourself in the most relaxing place you've ever been in. Is it a building? Is it out in the open? Is it daytime or nighttime? Wherever you feel the most safe, you are there. And in this calm and in this stillness, remember every step and every action leads to something more. And the task at hand is to take a step and take action toward more of the good, more of the love, more of what you treasure. With me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Nice and slow, deep breath through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale through your mouth. Nice and long exhale. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath in through your nose. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax as you exhale. And as you relax and settle into your exhale, remember these affirmations. I embrace my inner strength and creativity. I step confidently into this new week, shining with self-assuredness and determination. I am loved. I am safe. I am grateful. I am guided. I am protected. With me, take one breath in through your nose, nice and slow. Breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, nice and slow through your mouth. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again. Last time, nice and slow through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax as you exhale. Nice and slow, bring your awareness to your body. Open your eyes and come back to me. And that concludes our time together. So grateful that you were here, Peter and my sister Nani. I love you both so much. Thank you for being live, and thank you all for watching the replay and DMing, commenting, and so on and so forth. I'm always so grateful to connect with all of you. So please do. I'm here for you. I'm here to help, to clarify, to read, to chart. Like, what do you want? Let's do it. Peter says, thank you for a wonderful meditation. Thank you, Peter. So grateful. And I'll see you all next Tuesday. Okay? We're going to do our Moon Day episode on Mars Day, and it'll be okay. It'll just be like, you know, like when you have a 3-day weekend and then Tuesday feels like Moon Day. That's how it's going to feel for me. So we're going to do it together. I'll see you then. I love you. Bye.